I see you. Nope, nope. You. I see you. It's me, Jeremy. Griffin from the New York City Hemophilia chapter. I don't remember your name. Well, since 2008, we've been helping people with bleeding disorders to improve their lives by building community to improve their health outcomes. And now, with this exclusive program for NYCHC community members and guests, we want to empower you to live a healthier life through laughter and yoga. Laughter is such a good remedy for the health. Actually, studies show that laughter can help ease physical ailments and pain, releases dopamine, and reduces stress. Yoga is just the same. And studies show that yoga reduces depression, reduces anxiety. It can actually help with heart disease, chronic pain, and epilepsy. So the studies are clear. So I'm happy that we're able to present to you guys this new series called Finding Your Inner Joy. Each week we'll provide a comedian or a yoga instructor 30 minutes of a performance to bring a little joy to your life. The performances will be presented weekly until May 16th. So make sure to register so you get this every week on Monday. To find out more information about the program and virtual events, check out our website at nyhemophilia.org. All right, now you came for something specific, and so I'm going to give it to you. We've got a great performer today, and I want to share that with you. But before we do that, look here, down below, there's some great resources to help you find some joy. These are mental health resources. These are resources about exercise, and they're all here free for you. But none of this could be possible without our sponsors. So please, big thank you to our sponsors, and check out their website too. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. Big, huge thank you to Pfizer for making this possible. None of these videos would have been possible without their support. So thank you so much, Pfizer, for making this possible. With that, no further ado, come and enjoy the show. And hopefully you can find a little more of your inner joy.
Hey everybody, my name is Vanessa Hollingshead. I am with WACA, Funny Women of a Certain Age. And I usually do stand-up comedy for people, and now with the COVID, I'm doing sit-down comedy for, squares. But anyway, hope you enjoy it. It's really great for me, whoever is watching. And let me tell you, with the COVID, every day is like Groundhog Day. But on the plus side, with the mask, from here up, I look 30, so that feels good. But, I used to watch The Handmaid's Tale, and I feel like I'm in The Handmaid's Tale. So anyway, I got back from the Middle East. I performed for the troops over there. I performed for 15,000 men, and then I did my comedy. I mean, they had a tough job to do, so did I. But they were very polite, because none of them were from New York, all Southern soldiers. And this one soldier looks at me and he goes, "Listen, ma'am, if it gets dangerous, I want you to know I'll take a bullet for you." Like, listen, pal, I'm from New York. I'm lucky if I can get a guy to take a shower for me. But one of the reasons why I think there's so much violence in the Middle East is because it's so hot. I'm over there, it's like 140 degrees. I mean, people there are suffering. I mean, do you ever hear of any violence in Alaska? Anything? Any drive-by harpoonings? Any huskies eating the legs off their owners because it's too cold? No. If you want to end the war, I would take the Palestinians and the Israelis. I would ship them all to Alaska, the Wailing Wall, the mosque, everything, and be like, "Oh my God, it's so cold. We must make love to keep alive. But I'm a Jew. I'm Muslim. It does not matter. We make a julep. We must live." That'd be one way, to kind of end the war. And then also being over there, I thought it'd be great if the American women and the Middle Eastern women joined in solidarity. And instead of, and you know how you have like Casual Friday? How about Burqa Monday? I mean, first of all, it'd be great for business. It would cut down on absenteeism. I mean, how many times have you called in on a Monday? You're hungover, bad hair day, you need a mental health day, you can't stand your boss, you're not crazy about your coworkers, and you're like, "I'm not going in. I need a break. I need a break." And you're like, "Wait a second, it's Burqa Monday. I could put the burqa on, listen to my Spotify, watch some Netflix. No. It's a win-win situation." So, just saying. And then also being over there in Saudi Arabia, we were taken to Chop Chop Square, which isn't an Asian fusion restaurant. It's a huge chopping block where if you steal anything, they cut your hands off. It's not like Urban Outfitters where it's like, "Excuse me, can we look at your inside your bag?" It's like, "No, excuse me, can we look at your hands?" and chop them off. Which is interesting because that's actually how soccer started in England in the late 1800s. Two thieves if you stole, they had their hands chopped off. And they were like, well, you know what? We're going to be here for a bit. We might as well kick the ball about, eh? So that happened. And, and I was, and the English are very polite. I mean, in New York, you get nervous if people are polite. You're like, wait a second, the guy's going to beat me, he's going to stab me, he's going to want to smell my feet, something weird's going to happen, I'm going to be dead just giving him directions. I'm in London, I'm in Piccadilly Circus, I feel this guy grab my knapsack, I turn around and say, ooh, you caught me, I'm a pickpocket, can I buy a drink? So I started dating him, still stole my wallet, but he left me a note. You were absolutely fantastic, and I left your credit card and identification. So, and I love the way they keep the stiff upper lip. Like Americans, we get upset over everything. Like I'm having a bad hair day, I don't know what antidepressants to take, I'm feeling so unconnected from my inauthentic self. I mean, I don't even know what that means. English people could be like, my entire family was brutally murdered about a half an hour ago, but one goes on, Runa, would you like some jellied eels, dear chap? And I lived over there because my dad was British, and let me tell you, it was brutal. I mean, I was there for 2 years, all it did was rain. They had summer rain, winter rain, spring rain, fall rain, rain. I'm over there, my hair is reaching into the cosmos because I got really curly hair, and I'm getting depressed from eating. So now I'm getting fat and hairy. They have no compassion for me because they're English. And they're like, well, why don't you learn how to ride a horse? What about an umbrella? What about a cup of tea? What about a biscuit? I'm like, what about some sun in this country? I'm dying here. My soul is dying. I think that's why Churchill won the war. I think he said, men, there's sun in Normandy. Seriously. And then you have these 15-year-old British models. Their lips weigh more than they do. They're like the standard of American beauty. They're on billboards, buses. It's like, hello, my name is Anna Rexia. All day long, smile and faint, And you're constantly hearing now, all women are beautiful, which I agree, all women are beautiful. But if all women are truly beautiful, have more women, different types on the runways, like big, small, tall, short, young, old, gay, trans, have every single type of woman. And then get better magazines, like Old and Bold, Gray and Gorgeous, Fat and Fine, Gay and Gorgeous, Little and Luscious, Cellulite Cutie Pie, or Crusty, Busty, and a Little Husky. That'd be everybody. That'd be all-inclusive, Because guys, they really don't have an issue with their weight. A guy puts on weight, it's like he's got a new best friend attached to his stomach. He's like, look at that, look at that. Women, we don't fit in our size 6 jeans, we're ready to commit suicide. Guys don't get old. They're like, you know what? I'm getting old, I know I got a goiter and I know my stomach hangs over my belt, but as long as it doesn't mess up my golf arm, you know what I'm saying? And I get crazy about trying to live up to this ideal. So what I did is I was going to write to Vogue magazine, and I'm looking at the publishers, and it's like they're all published, this magazine is published and edited by other women. And fashion is created by a handful of gay guys, the nice stuff, the couture stuff. So here we are as women, starving ourselves to death for 2 groups of people that wouldn't want us anyway. I'm just saying. And, being a New Yorker, they got, my friend's got a real weird way of giving me a compliment. A friend of mine looked at me and he goes, you look good. You look like a dancer if she was out of shape. And then my other friend said, no, she looks like she used to be an ice skater but retired years ago. And then my other friend said, no, she looks like a soccer mom that thinks she's Bon Jovi but back in the 80s. Did you ever go shopping for like a really cute little sexy black dress and you come home with an extra large pepperoni pizza? Just gets to you. And the New York City subways, they've gotten more gender neutral. So they've gotten rid of the term ladies and gentlemen. I'm a native New Yorker, and I assure you, there are no ladies or gentlemen. They could have gotten rid of that term years ago. My friend was telling me she learned how to hold in a sneeze. I live in New York. I've learned how to hold in a nervous breakdown. She said, how do you stay in such good shape? What's your cardio? I'm like, cardio? I get regular panic attacks trying to cross the street and not get mowed over by a bicycle. Like, what's with the bicycles all over the place? This isn't Amsterdam. Amsterdam was made for bicycles. A kid was born, the umbilical cord was shaped like a spoke. They're well-behaved New Yorkers on the bicycles. They're electric bikes. They go up on the sidewalk. They're on their cell phone. They're holding food. I mean, it's insane. And, and I don't want the last thing I hear before I die is ring, ring. Because this is how I cross the street, just looking every single way. Now, is anyone here on antidepressants? Got to be some. I mean, I'm pretty sure it did go up since COVID. Zoloft, no one can get Zoloft. So I tried 17 antidepressants, and let me tell you, I don't call bleeding from your eyes a mild side effect, but they worked. I had no emotions, I had no feelings, nothing bothered me. I'm like, oh my God, this is what it's like to be a guy. Yeah. I mean, guys, they live in the moment. Like women, we live in our head. You're like, okay, I'm going to have 3 drinks, but I'm the designated driver. Okay, if I have 3 drinks and I don't have water in between the drinks, what if I get a DWI? If I get a DWI, then I'm going to get arrested and they're going to take my car away. Then the neighbors are going to think I'm an alcoholic, which I'm not. I'm just trying to have a good time. And then I've got them coming over for the barbecue. I don't even know what to do anymore. So it's just, okay, I'm just going to have the water. Okay, well, he's going to drive. Well, what's he going to do? And all he's thinking is, you know what? I think I'll have another beer and having a good time. That's how it is. And recently, my doctor took me off of my antidepressant. He goes, you don't need antidepressants. You don't have depression. I'm like, what? Then what's the problem? He's like, you just have an awful life. Will that be credit or cash? Yeah, so I think, okay. And everyone's gotten so PC. That bothers me. Politically correct. I don't know what's going on. Like, you can't even be a comedian because you're afraid of offending somebody. Someone's not going to feel safe. Something's going to happen. I was doing this one show, and this woman just shouted out, I'm offended by your joke because I'm lactose intolerant. I made fun of cheese. And she's like, no, you made fun of white American cheese. I'm like, I don't have any jokes on minority cheeses, like cheeses of color, like blue cheese. I love blue cheese. I don't have jokes on blue cheese. Did you ever look at the back of white American cheese and ask yourself what's in it? So now we're fighting over cheese. Then I went to Urban Outfitters. I got this leathery-like jacket. I looked at the woman. I'm like, what kind of material is this? She says to me, it's vegan leather. Vegan leather. I'm like, what, you skin an eggplant? Like, you can't say pleather. Is pleather too 80s? Is it too uncool? So I looked up vegan leather. And it's made with polycellulose, polymers, polyester. Doesn't cow sound more organic? You know what we ought to do is just wear leather, wait till the cow dies of old age, and be like, hey, nice jacket. How come it's so wrinkled? Yeah. And let me tell you, it's not like I didn't try. I tried to be vegan. My best friend was vegan, and it was the worst 48 hours of my entire life. And, I try, and they kill, and how do you kill an animal humanely? I mean, how do you say, hey, Betty, you are a wonderful cow. I've loved you, but you have no idea how delicious you taste. Betty, you see that sunset? How do you kill a cow humanely? So, it's like, and to get humanely treated beef is $18.99 a pound, and then $7.99 for a dozen eggs with humanely treated chickens. So I can't afford that. So what I do is I get the abused cow, and then I get the humanely treated eggs. So I never feel guilty at breakfast time. But what I did is I wrote extra checks to the PETA organization and the ASPCA. So the cow gets it, but I've saved 7 runty cats, 5 mangy dogs, and a pet llama named Moo from South Africa. And my friend, she spent $20 for a quinoa burger at the farm-to-table, overpriced restaurant. So who actually saved the animals? Right? So, and my favorite show is Chopped. You watch that show, Chopped? I don't watch it for the recipes. I watch it for the excitement. I mean, it's just it's like, okay, chefs, you have a bowling ball, some live eels, and marzipan. Make an appetizer. And they do. I don't even know how they do it. It's like, oh my goodness, Chef Izzy, with the marzipan encrusted bowling ball and the eels coming out of the holes. I didn't even mind chipping my tooth. Excellent presentation. Then right after Chopped, they got Chopped Junior. I mean, these little kids, they make me feel like a loser. When I was 8 years old, they ate like 8 years old. When I was 8 years old, I used to eat mud pies made out of mud and paste. That's what I did. These kids are like, what I want to do is I want to go to the French Culinary Institute and learn the different ways to make Parisian pear tartlets. Now here I am, feeling like a loser, unambitious. And you know what? With kids now, it's like they all get participation trophies. When I was a kid, if you lose, you can't lose. It's like, Dad, I lost. No, Billy, you're the last winner. Billy, you won last. How's this? What? It's like I used to play a game. If I lost, I'd practice till I got good at it. And if I kept losing, I would just hang out with other losers. I'd wear all black. I'd start a rock band. I would think outside the box. Maybe I would come up with a social app for my antisocial behavior. It was a win-win situation. Everybody was happy. And how is this going to help kids when they go into the workforce? It's like, Bill, you're an hour late for work. No, I'm the last person on time. So then another term I hate is staycation. It sounds happy, like I'm on a staycation. But it's a term to describe when you don't make enough money at your job. An American term, they call it a staycation. That's like saying, you know what? I don't want to be in a relationship. I want to be in a me-lationship. So instead of finding somebody to love, I'm just going to binge watch Netflix and eat Haagen-Dazs and right out of the box and cry myself to sleep. So it's, in relationships, I tried to be in relationships. I was on, I did the, Match.com, or as I like to call it, gnomesandtrolls.com, because these guys should be extras on Lord of the Rings. And let me tell you, I like guys. I don't care if a guy is short, fat, bald, mean, cheap, and has the beginnings of acute alcoholism, but just not at the same time. I got standards. And I used to want to meet a guy that was kind, warm, loving. Now I'm happy if the guy has ears. Not that he'll listen, but that he could. And I'm terrible with technology. I'm actually in the process of adopting a 7-year-old so I can figure out how to work my cell phone. Can't they make a smartphone stupid? Do I have to go to MIT? I mean, this really happened. I locked myself out of my iPhone with that thumb recognition. I had to go to bribe a kid in the schoolyard. I'm like, listen, I'll give you $20 in a juice box. You can unlock me. Takes him 3 seconds. He hands the phone back to me and goes, it's not a toy. Like, how can someone this tiny know how to reconfigure an iPad but still thinks it comes from Santa? So I'm pretty stressed out. So what I do is I try and meditate. But my brain keeps going, so I need guided meditation. So a lot of the times I listen to Deepak Chopra. And Deepak I just love. He's up at 4 a.m. He meditates for 2 hours. He's written over 40 books. I'm lucky if I can write my set list, And he's like, okay, you are part of the universe, and the universe is really nothing. And you are really nothing, but being really nothing, you are really something. And something is part of nothing. I'm like, what's this guy talking about? Now I feel like a loser on like a cosmic level. So I thought, you know what, let me listen to a more, less esoteric person, guided meditation. It's like, breathe in and breathe out and release all of your anxieties. Like anxieties. It's not a word. What, anxious? No, that's anxieties. Now my heart's pounding. I'm like, I'm out of the meditation. Like, didn't they check her phonetic English? I mean, I'm sure she's brilliant and wonderful and sweet, but come on. Breathe in from your head down to your uncles. Uncles, I don't even like my uncle. So now I'm thinking about my uncle, who I don't even like. So I thought, you know what? Let me listen to a British guided meditation. The languages, he speaks beautifully, and I can finally meditate. So it's like, you're in a field, you see flowers and trees, and it's beautiful and the sun's shining, and you see this unicorn coming towards you that carries a sacred chant in its mouth. Now, for a small fee, the chant can be yours. Just go to www.britmonk.com. Like, you know what, you know what I need? I need a New York guided meditation. It's honest and it's relatable. It's like, breathe in and breathe out. Hold your breath because the dog just pooped in the park. Breathe in and breathe out. Put your bag under your tush, because if that gets stolen, you'll lose whatever serenity you got. Breathe in and breathe out. You're going to hear the clanking of bottles. That's the homeless. They need jobs. Don't judge. Breathe in and breathe out. I don't want you to think about your flabby arms and your horrible thighs and your disgusting children. Because one day they'll have disgusting children that will be disgusting to them. And you will know a profound joy. Breathe in and breathe out. I don't want you to think about your emotionally unavailable partner. At least somebody loves you in New York because everyone's gay. Breathe in and breathe out. And remember, alternate side rule parkings are in effect. The D train is running on the F line. The C line is running on the N line. There's problems on the bridges. They're both closed. You're going to be here for a long time. Breathe in and breathe out, and please keep your eyes closed, not for serenity, but the guy to the right of me is wearing a space helmet and nothing else on. Now, we're going to close with the New York City mantra. I love New York. Breathe in. I just hate myself. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Another great session from these comedians. I don't know how we find them, but I'm really glad we did. Hopefully it made you laugh. Hopefully it made you smile. And more than anything, I just hope it brought you a little joy today. We'll see you next week. Next week, we have a wonderful yoga instructor. So come back next week. Thank you to our sponsors for making this possible. Do check out the links down below. And thanks again for being here. See you next week.